I'm bagging this bitch!
Alright, hello there, Leonard here. Hope you're doing well. So a new build, I've named this build the Flame Paladin. We do have a nice shield that gives us a little bit of life regeneration, so even if I cast the ability, we basically press block to activate the regen. It doesn't apply passively, you do have to press block, and we do have a nice regen. So if any situations that we do take damage and we do need to block, we block the damage and we also regen. But I got lucky with the chest piece on this build and basically I literally take no damage. Right, so because we can reset the Crucible Knight, I'm gonna show two versions. First, normal, without any buffs or anything, just normal fight. You can, with no buffs. Quickly dead. Right, so that's the first one. So then you just go back here and the Crucible Knight is going to be reset. So now I'm going to showcase with buffs. It would be much easier if I had some healing. Unfortunately, I don't have anything. I'm going to have to fight him again just to lower the costs of my abilities. Now I can use this. And now we are fully buffed. So we can go reset him again. So basically with the first ability, we do about 10,000 damage. And this is our second ability. It's also very nice to have. Just spam it. Oh yeah, the Flame Paladin, guys. Right, I'm gonna do a quick cut and we will see each other near the dummies. Alright, welcome back, boys. So, with our normal ability, we're doing like almost 4,000 with each damage, so it's like 8,000 with one ability. With this ability, it's a little bit harder to say how much exactly we're doing. But the damage is decent, and you can take it even further with buffing yourself and inflaming your weapon. That gives you 20% increased fire damage. So the damage goes up to, well, 10,000 at that point. And the small hits to 700. So if you do this amount of damage, at some point you're just gonna kill the dummy. So yeah, I don't have anything else to hit because the other one from my previous testing, I just killed it. So I'm gonna explain now all the gear you're gonna need for this build. Of course, you don't need perfect rolls or anything like that, the perfect exaltation and other stuff like that. Just still, if you do like even half of the damage of this build, you're gonna be basically still one-shotting every single thing in the game. So this is just a overkill, to be more precise, but with the weapon, it is a faith weapon, because the shield is a faith-based type also. So on the weapon, for the skills, I'm using Blazing Rupture and Fire Flurry. I find those two skills very nice to use. Blazing Rupture is like a kind of mobility rune skill. It's nice to move around with it, especially we lower the cost to 40. So for the enchantments, I figured I'm gonna go with attack speed again, based on current durability, as how to put it, the build already does more than enough damage. If you're doing enough damage and you're slow, the build doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel nice to play. So I figured attack speed is gonna be the way. It does feel much better. so we have also increased critical damage. Movement's increased when we do a rune attack, and durability increased. The downside, we have attack stamina cost increased by 30, but we don't use normal attacks, we just do normal rune attacks, so we don't need stamina. So, and for the face set, I would recommend trying to get sharp for the critical damage increase, or you can get anything else. Honestly, the build is still going to be doing enough damage, so you can even go with this build without any face sets. It's going to be still fine. Shield, it's a Heart Desire, it's a legendary shield, so basically the shield does give us 20 health regeneration while blocking. So if you are lacking a little bit of enchantments, other stuff, the shield is nice to have to block and to heal. It also has a decent amount of stagger resistance. So if you're going to be using the low life tech, all these stuff on the shield and also on the weapon and also on every single piece of equipment is going to be doubled. Going further, the helmet, we have critical damage increased, fire damage, and focus cost reduced by 30%. This is all exalted. I was a little bit lucky with this one, because it could go to fire damage, which honestly gives us a little bit less damage than critical bonus. So the idea is to try to hit the critical damage and the focus, which it's a gamble. It's RNG. Either you get lucky or you don't. So the helmet is without any face set. It's a magical weapon. Helmet. It's a magic helmet. For our pants, we do have the face set Frantic. It gives us movement speed. It's 10% movement speed, so it's always nice to have. We do have armor penetration, critical hit chance, and fire damage. With also the gems that increase the effect of enchantments by 100% on low life. Body armor. Funny enough, I was lucky and unlucky, because it did hit 2 times durability, and that's not ideal. I would preferably have to hit 2 times damage resistance, so it goes up to 15%. And the best situation that it would, second enchantment, it would be critical damage increased 2 times. If it hit that, or even armor penetration with critical damage, it would be nice. As durability, it doesn't have the same power as damage resistance from current durability. And also at this point, it's a little bit overkill, as my resistances are basically at 102. So there's literally never a situation I'm taking damage. So the chest piece is definitely overkill, but for the face set you want durable to increase durability. So yeah, it's a little bit overkill. I was lucky and a bit unlucky, because I could get a little bit more damage. For the gloves, we do have armor penetration, critical hit chance against burning enemies. This is very nice to have, because basically we have 50%, just like that, because we ignite and we are igniting all the time. Fire damage increased, healing increased based on current durability. That's why we are using plate gloves, because plate has the highest durability. So this does affect our healing and our passive healing from the shield. For the downside, we have parry disabled. And back to the body armor, we have for the downside max health reduced by 16%. This is doubled, it goes to 32%, and this is needed with the ring to get below 50% of our life to be considered on low life. So for the rings, we do have a rune ring, because we are just spamming rune attacks. We don't care about basic attacks, so this nicely increases our damage by 30%. We do have a plague ring. This allows us to have lifesteal permanently, because we are all the time on low life, and it does reduce our max health by 22%. So basically with those two, at minus 54%. So I'm going from 400 life to 180. It's locked. And the way we are spamming abilities is thanks to the Ring of Determination. Spend health if there's not enough focus available. So because we are healing like crazy on this build all the time, and thanks to this we're using health instead of focus, we can spam our abilities all the time. So what would happen now if I would take off this one piece of body armor? We're going from 102 all resistances down to 22, 37, 37, 22, 29. So yeah, the chest piece is definitely overkill, massively overkill, but yeah, just unlucky, I guess. For our attributes, I do have 45 into health, 59 into faith, and 13 into equip load, so we're at 100%, and we are still considered as heavy, so that's very nice to have. So yeah, and I can go also through the utility runes. If you would like to use some other skills, for example, you can use heat enchantment. This will allow you to just basically convert if you want to use physical runes because you find them more fun to play, your play style. You can use that. If you want to do still fire damage, you just use this enchant. That will basically convert all your physical damage into fire damage. And damage surge is very nice to have, also increases your damage by a ton. Secondly, we do have illuminate. If we do explore caves and other stuff, there's nice to have some light. And return, this allows us to basically travel from any point in the game to anywhere we want, to any bonfire we find. And for the utilities, if you want to even further increase the damage, like I said, this build doesn't need perfect gear. Like small stuff, the utility buffs, and also you have the flame scale oil. This will also infuse your weapon with fire, basically converting physical damage into fire. But on top of that, this increases your damage by 20% with fire. So there are ways to increase the damage and the tankiness if you like don't have enough embers, other stuff, and you get unlucky. You can always get a little bit more resistance on the other pieces. For example, drop the fire damage. You can get physical or elemental resistance, is also fine. So there are ways to make this build work for a budget and even early game. So yeah, Flame Paladin. I would hit something, but I killed everything I had here. So yeah, I hope you do enjoy. And there's a Discord channel, Forge Warriors. I do hope you guys join, and I'll see you in the next one.